Hi YouTube, BidHead85 here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about something about me that I think just about everybody who views my channel knows. I'm gay, and I've always been gay. There's been no dispute about that for me in my mind whatsoever, because that's just who I am. That's part of who I am. And like, I've always known I was gay, that I'm gay, because it was just something that I've always known. It was something that I've always tried to avoid too, because I didn't want to be the weak one. But now that I know how the crap that we have to deal with in our society because we're gay, being gay is not for the faint of heart. The ones that are really weak are the down low cats, because one, they don't want anyone to know, and two, you know, they diss you in the streets but want you in the sheets. So I'll just say it that way. Like, how I know I'm gay is I don't know, hey, my head turns when I see I can be anywhere and I see a hot guy and it's like, whoa, and I'm just staring at him like crazy, oh my goodness, who is this hot piece of handsome? But also it's for me, it's when I'm with a guy and I really like him and whatever, and I don't know, it's just so natural for me, and it's there's been I dated this guy for 4 years, and it's just when we were together, and when we were connected, when we would make love, it would just be everything, it was the scales were set, and that's kind of a interesting metaphor, as he is the most unbalanced Libra I've ever met, and I swear I want to avoid all Libras, or at least the messed up ones. I don't know, maybe a Libra would be good for me, but I don't know, it's just when I hold a guy, when I'm I like to come up behind them and just kind of give them a little bear hug, and hold them close like that. And sometimes I'm really mindful of the smell of a guy. I don't know what it is, but it's really sometimes I would smell Daryl, and he would be he wouldn't be anywhere nearby, and sometimes, and mainly when I think of him, I just get when they're talking about relationships and whatever, and I start thinking about him and whatever, I'm okay, let me get out of here, because I'm getting a little too hot and bothered, but that would happen with any guy that I guess you would be had a long-term relationship with. But I'm gay. I've always been gay. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And it's just I can't imagine not being gay, because trying to be straight would be just a disaster for me, because I don't want to put a woman through something something where she doesn't know if basically where I eventually end up coming out to her, and she's was it me, or was it what happened, and my kid's wondering if daddy ever loved them, and if he did, why did he leave? That's the last thing I want to do to my wife and kids, so I'll leave the wife alone. And a lot of people who are a fan of ex-gay therapy, they usually say, well, you can change and all this other stuff, and But I mean, most of the people who have been forced into quote ex-gay therapy, most of them have committed suicide, and most of them who eventually end up surviving through it are so scarred that they may never be able to carry on any kind of intimate relationship, because they're just so scarred from that kind of therapy that they can't, they may shut down, you know. And there are a lot of stories about people who have been in ex-gay therapy, and just their lives have never been the same way again, and it's not a positive development in that arena. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, about how I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm gay, you know. Like, it's just how I'm wired, you know. And there was an interesting Truth Won Out video called Ex-Gay Equals Ex-Wife. And I'm sure that Nam and Narth and Exodus would probably hate that video and say that the husbands didn't try and change. But it's society's fault. It's not theirs. And these women have been scarred by being pawns in their husband's drama. And one woman has not dated a man ever since her husband and her divorced. And I think that's tragic, because that woman should be able to date someone who can love her the way that she needs to be loved. So individuals who say that, you know, oh, you're depriving somebody of someone to love, then that's bullshit. Because if anything, I am attracted to someone, and when they're the one and I settle down and get married to them, I'm not depriving anyone of someone to love. Have a great day, you two.